Okay, let's get rolling here. Everyone can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
So maybe so.
yeah.
Let me just close my office door just in case there's a bunch of noise. Okay, let's get rolling here. Okay, let's start with SPY. If I have to stop for like 2 minutes in between y'all, it's just because I'm going to be transferring the baby from me to my baby mama out of this little, I don't know, whatever you call this, where they sit on you, or that she's laying on me, like strapped up. Um, okay, let's get rolling though. We'll start with SPY. So I just want to show everybody something live really quick. So back in March, I don't know how many of you were in the group by then or not. I know Aaliyah was. She's been with me for a long time, but um I just want to show you guys the power of fibs. I did this a couple weeks ago, but not live, so I'll show you. So we went from here to here, put in this top. And Leo, remember this. This is where we kind of got short around 460. And I told everyone if we hit 410, I could probably pull up the tweet. I think I said I was gonna giggle on or something corny like that. And the reason being is look at what that was, right? It's the 618 of this sequence, right? Now the whole world was ending when this happened, right? Everybody insisted the stock market was crashing. You know, we went from 460 to 410. It was a $50 move down. The world was over again. Really, that's still a bullish retracement. So if you trace down to the 618 and move up, guess what? The trend is still intact and you're moving on up. So the reason I say that now is let's just pretend for a minute. I just want to give you guys all some context because everybody on Twitter is always ready to act like the world's ending, right? So let's just say Friday was the top. So 410, because you go from your swing low to your swing high here. Same thing here, right? Same thing. We could retrace all the way to 450 and we would still be in a bullish trend right here. What is this red line? What the heck is this? The heck is that?
Oh shit! I think I turned something on where I'm like drawing on your screen. I did not know that.
That's all good. I didn't even know that was a thing. That's
I
super
didn't
cool, actually.
either.
We just learned something. That's awesome. I love learning new things. That's hilarious. My point being is if this was the top on or a temporary top on Friday, that when you hear people saying the world is ending again and we're going to enter a bear market, just remember we can retrace all the way to 450 and we would still be in an uptrend. Okay. And that would just be the exact same thing that we did here when we went from here. I'll put these back for you guys again so you can see. When we went from here to here, right? And we hit the 618 and moved up. So just remember. So these are the fibs I'm going to have on SPY for now. I'd love a move down to 505, frankly, but we'll see what happens, right? The market's always moving funny, but with the way NVIDIA is dumping and Apple will see the strength it shows or doesn't show really, right? Last week was huge, or Friday was huge all of a sudden, but if you look at, we'll go through these individually, but if you look at the candles we put down, what do I always tell you? It's not so much the color, it's the structure, right? This was a green day for Google, but an overall bearish candle here, getting all the way up to basically it did get to 139 and closing at 136. Not bullish. Apple, which was shining for most of the day, got up to 172, rejected the 786 fib and closed down at 170. So I think this even hit 173. So even my baby coin, right? We did the same thing. We tapped this 707 fib actually to the penny. Then came all the way down to 256. Still a green candle, but not the most bullish. And then NVIDIA, I mean, we all know, right? It put in a very bearish candle, which I actually, we'll start with NVIDIA. I think from an overall chart perspective right now, we're poised to get some downside, and that wouldn't be a bad thing. So we'll start with NVIDIA. I think we're going to get a very clear harmonic W here. In 1 minute, I got to bring some folks in. It's been a bunch of people. And sorry, I started this wrong. So this would be here. This would be about here, I think. Yeah, there we go. But I think this is going to happen pretty to a T. I think we'll get some pullback here and then a nice move up. And sorry, people keep coming and I have having to keep admit them. So this type of impulsive candle here. And so what I mean by that is, let me just turn my magnet off really quick. An impulsive move like this, right? This big red candle normally is the sign of at least a temporary switch in trend, right? So we zoom way back, right? Which, by the way, imagine just buying the dip on NVIDIA. I did on shares. But right when we zoom back and we started to get impulsive candles here to the upside, you know, we've pretty much just been ripping ever since. What did I just do with my fibs? Again, I don't think this is a super long-term pullback, but a move back down. Frankly, just to fill some of these gaps, right? That's where I have this here is inside this gap, and also is the 236 fib of this sequence here. But technically, actually, what I should do now, I apologize, and this will probably change my structure or shape of this really quick. This is definitely going to be the top here. And let me just make sure this magneted to the absolute top here. And I'm gonna have to do a baby transfer here, guys, and so you're gonna have to give me 2 seconds. But okay, there we go. And then the A point would still be here for sure. B point would probably be there. Next point. Yeah, so that raises my bottom though a bit. So A, C, there we go. Fill this gap, honestly, right here. And I'm gonna bring that there actually. So this is what I think could happen on NVIDIA here relatively quickly. Move down here, fill this gap at 830. Impulsive move back up, and then finish our D leg. And again, nothing about this pattern is bearish either, by the way. This is largely just a giant consolidation pattern to continue to move up. When an M completes, or I think this is like a bullish butterfly is actually what you would call this, it's going to continue up. So I still think we're going to get 1,000 plus sometime this year, but not right now. So, and give me 2 seconds, guys. I got to do a quick transfer the baby, and then I'll take any questions in the video, and then we'll move on to another stock. Hey, babe. Okay, everyone, I'm back. Can everyone hear me again? You guys all hear me again?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions about this? It's up to it's kind of messy. Yeah. Any questions about NVIDIA? If not, we'll move on. But yeah, I like a move down to fill this gap here at about 830 to 817, 825, 820, any of those numbers. I never play the A to B, like, just so we're clear. You never really know where the bottom's going to be. I always get, it's hard to tell when you're next to A, but I'm always good about catching those. Now I'm going to sit 1 minute, guys. I'm going to put my standing desk down and sit now that I don't have the baby strapped to me. But the C to D is what you want to play, right? That's the explosive leg. So B to C is not bad either. It's kind of obvious when you put down a bottom. This would be a better bottom, honestly. The fib here, the 382, that would be a logical place for this to bounce. Yeah, then the 50, and a move back up to after here. My target would be this extension here at 1,090. So if you have some time on your calls, I don't think a lot of people that are in the video calls do. That's why I've been staying away. You should be fine, but like an April contract, well, with how this thing moves, I guess you never know. So I haven't played it in a while. So where it is right now, it's just not my thing. But it's been moving. It's been moving great. Obviously, you all have been making a ton of money on it. So my shares, thank you for your service. Any questions about NVIDIA? If not, we'll move on. Okay, we'll go to coin. Can't talk about coin without talking about Bitcoin. So let me just pull Bitcoin up quick. Switch to the daily. Okay, here we go. Okay. So we're obviously consolidating right here around this fib, right? We're past where, let me switch to the weekly here. What was the exact? Yeah, that's what I thought. So right now we're past all-time high by like $1,000. The biggest question, oh no, I think I just declined someone from getting in. Oof, bad luck. Let me just turn that off. It's not in the way. Okay. But you can see this move, right? I mean, bull flag into another bull flag, and sorry, I'm on the weekly now. Oh, here we go. Okay, he came back. Bull flag into another bull flag. That's what we need to do here. We need to consolidate for a little bit if we want to move up. But the next major move up brings us to like the 80Ks. So honestly, I don't care if we consolidate here for a while. I would like that, frankly, to bring it back to coin now. Because I got a lot of DMs about this. All I do for Bitcoin guys is buy and hold. Now, I'm not exactly buying a lot up here. I do buy Bitcoin almost every day, not a lot. But my big buys are not up here at all-time highs. So not right now, at least. If we look like we're ready to make that next big leg up, then maybe. But right now we need to consolidate for a bit. I wouldn't mind to push down. And even if we consolidate, I think we'll pull back a little bit on coin. Obviously, tomorrow if we wake up and coin's ready to rip, then we'll get in and we'll play it again. But this, like I said, the shape of the candle matters a lot more than the color. You know, people get caught up and say, oh, it's still a green day, but look at where we rejected to a T, right? On our swing high, swing low. Our master fib set here, rejected to a penny on the 707. I think we need to move back to the 618. It'd be great, honestly, because we would fill this little gap here in the 240s. So from a structure standpoint, which you all hear me talking about all the time, it would be much better to fill this and then move back up, right? I mean, we got all these little, and they don't ever have to fill. Not every single gap fills. Again, this was an earnings gap and everything. So if this one doesn't fill, so be it. But I would not like to leave this little guy behind before we continue to make a move up. I'd like us to fill it first. So I'd like a temporary move back down and then a continued move up. You guys know I think we're going 300 plus this year, unless crypto just absolutely, unless I shouldn't say crypto, unless Bitcoin itself just truly just shits itself. Coin's not gonna trend down too long. And look, it's doing the same thing it does every time, guys. This is why I like playing the same stocks over and over again. Impulsive move up, impulsive retracement to a key fib, impulsive move up, impulsive retracement to a key fib, impulsive move up, retracement to a key fib. Right here, it happened in like 2 days, so you can't see, but it impulsed up, impulsed down to a key fib. Impulsive move up, chopped at a key fib, impulsive move up, chopped at a key fib, impulsive move up, rejected at a key fib. I'd like another retracement down to this key fib before we move forward. Again, but it's put down a clear pattern right now. So any questions? We got a bunch of people on. Sorry about that. No questions. Okay. Okay, let's move on. Okay. I had too many of my crypto head friends put this on my radar, so it's time to pay attention to it. MSTR, I wish we caught it down here. Look at this perfect W here that we missed. And a little retracement, just a freaking explosive move up. It's a bummer. This would have been the perfect time right here. This wick down candle right here, this candle, this hammer off, creating that final leg of the W. Man, that would have been nice. That would have been nice. Oh well. So this is the whole same thing. Hopefully we get a nice little consolidation pullback on Bitcoin so that these Bitcoin names can pull back a little bit. and then I'm gonna get in this. I got to look at the chain though. I don't totally know how. I've never played this before, so I don't totally know how. I mean, clearly it's impulsive, right? Like coin and the others, but had too many of my crypto friends mention this to me, so I will be looking to play it this week. I'm sure the contracts are insane. CLSK, I'm really just pulling this up. It's on the watch just again because we got over 18. Congrats to anybody that held. We rode this from down here up, and then I think we got out right around here, got in again, then it did this. But again, this is why I love fibs. Look at this, just a perfect retrace and hold of the 50% fib. And then you all know what I say about that fib. You either bounce up or bounce down pretty hard, and it's bounced up pretty hard. Took it a while to get back above 17, but now that it is, I mean, this is the opposite of some of the other candles I've talked about, right? On Friday, it's always interesting to see names. And the reason this is on my watch list is everything else put down kind of a meh candle on Friday, not this. This is a beautiful bullish candle. All buyers. Any selling that got caught up was bought up immediately. So looking to play CLSK. All the miners are getting kind of a nice little bounce. I think they got one last run in them before the halving of Bitcoin. However, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. And then to me, they're worthless after that. But again, that's just me. So questions on CLSK, MSTR, coin, or Bitcoin? I have Mara and Riot on my watch list too. Not going to go over them because they're the same as CLSK. I mean, the charts are almost identical. So questions.
I actually have a question regarding coin.
Sure.
You mentioned that you're kind of looking, I guess, for a retracement to be happening. So would you say like over the next month or so, you're more than likely looking to play puts, or just kind of depends on what happens in the market on a daily basis?
Yeah, good question. So, and this is where, and was that you, Leah, that asked the question? Sorry, everybody's faces disappeared. Everybody's names disappeared on my side. I don't know what happened, but this is where I guess like Chuck and I are a little bit different. The overall trend is still green. And so I'm a swing trader. You all know how I trade. I don't need to get every piece of the pie. I'm gonna wait. If we get our fill here, I will play it back up and swing it. Maybe I'll day trade some puts, but first of all, I don't see the move. I guess I should have been more clear. I don't see this being like a month-long retracement. I see us going to I mean, shit, you know how coin moves. We could be to 240 on Monday and a 270 by Tuesday. So I'm not looking to play puts on this, especially swing puts. I'm never gonna swing against the trend, if that makes sense. Aaliyah, and I'm assuming it was Aaliyah. If not, I apologize.
No, this is JJ.
Oh, it's okay. Hi, Jennifer. Sorry. Now I can see everybody. I apologize. I'm not going to swing against the trend, if that makes sense. So like this is a clear uptrend, right? Like we're not everything about it. Every time let me I'll just for anyone that's new or anybody that watches after that doesn't know terms, Coinbase is actually a great example. What is going on here? Why won't that go away? There we go. So let me zoom out. Let me pull up my blank charts actually, so that I don't care what I do here. I'm going to remove all drawings. And then just from a pure candlestick standpoint, we made this low on coin, and then we made a higher high, low. Now this was a lower high, lower low, lower low, but then boom, we broke out, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, higher low, I apologize. Higher high, assuming we make a higher low. God, it's tripping me up for some reason, which I'd like it right around here, one of these gaps. We're still in the trend. So for me, and again, that's just my trading style. Everyone's is different, so I can only speak on mine. I don't counter trade the trend for too long. So like on an uptrend, I'm only going to day trade puts. I'm not going to swing trade puts. Does that make sense, Jen?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And again, with coin, the way it's moving and everything, like again, a move from 256 to 240 sounds drastic, but that's like a daily move on coin. So no, I don't want to get stuck into it too bad. If we were to break the 100s, then the trend is kind of dead. We could put a fib here now, for example. Let's say this is the local top, and this was obviously the most recent low. There we go. That's not right. It was not 277. Come on, dude. There we go. If this was to break 174, then technically this current uptrend is broken, but this overall uptrend's not broken, right? So hopefully that helps and provides a little context for anybody that's wondering. And again, everybody's different. I'm not saying it's not wrong to counter trade the trend. I've never been successful at it. So hopefully that makes sense. And then I see Carrington ask, can you explain the miner issue with the halving? You think because the rewards are cut, miners will take a hit? Yeah, 100%. If you look at how much Bitcoin they produce now, it's like the amount of Bitcoin they produce, and I don't mean this to sound corny, but it almost gets cut in half after the halving of Bitcoin. So and maybe I'm wrong, but there's enough crypto people I've talked to, because I'm big on talking to people that are smarter than you on certain issues. You guys all know I'm a stock guy, not a crypto guy. That's why all I buy is Bitcoin. And look, the way I've made money off crypto through this run is playing coin, which is a stock. So I don't know a ton about it in terms of how they even make money or how they're mining Bitcoin. But from what everyone has told me in the space that I trust, is they're going to have like next to no value after the halving. So we'll see. I mean, all those people could be wrong, but yeah, Carrington, that's basically what I've been told, is the rewards are going to take a big cut once the halving happens. So, okay. Any other Bitcoin coin? The only other thing I'll say about Bitcoin is a major respecter of its Fibonacci. It's crazy to see how well this thing moves to its fibs, right? Just like coin. Look at it. It's really just been stair stepping up at the key fibs. So nice to see. Okay. Any other questions on any crypto related plays anybody wants to ask out loud or type in? If not, we can move on to some other equities, and then I'll take questions because I'm almost done with my watch list. So Google, like I said, I went all cash into the weekend. To me, shoot, that stinks. I didn't realize I didn't change to my, darn it. I'll fix that when we're done, guys. Okay. So Google here. Oh, maybe I can hit don't save changes. Oh, nice. Close without saving. Okay. Okay, Google. So Google, we caught down here, which is great on the 707 of this extension here. So from this, or sequence, I should say, from this high to this low, back up here, right? So we caught the 707, we played it up. We were in the Januaries. They were up like 50% at one point on Friday, which is awesome with 318 days left. But with everything that had been going on, the week I had, the week all of us had, I felt it was better. I felt it was better to go all cash into the weekend, and I'm glad that I did. Like I said, I put down a meh candle, but we still have a bullish MACD cross that looks like it wants to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if we pulled back to this 134.48 here and then moved up. But I like Google on at least to like back to 144, because if you're a bear, like at that point, then if it came up to 144, we'd have a head and shoulders there that could then retrace. So like to me, I'm always looking what's the bearish and bullish case. So like the bearish and bullish case on Google to me right now takes us up. So that's what I'm looking for right now is a move up on Google. We could be forming a W right now, so I'll move back down to this 134, this 131. For me, would be bought up, and I'd be looking to play the same thing. Those January cons moved like butter, so no reason to not take them in there. They're obviously from a time perspective protected really well. So questions about Google? No questions.
Wait, you said you're looking to play for 144 this week?
I'm looking to hopefully see this move to 134 or 131 and I'd be getting in January of next year contracts. My overall target is a gap fill here at 144 or even higher, but that won't happen in a week.
Okay.
Google doesn't have the sauce to move that type of in a week. So not without
So
earnings. Which are
if we
until- sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. If we held over the
go ahead,
weekend
go.
with those, would you say just probably ride it out for now?
Yeah, I mean with January contracts,
Mhm.
absolutely. You know, they don't expire for another, let's see, we've been on by the time Monday opens, you'll have another 312 days on them, which is
Mhm.
like a lifetime. We could be dead by the time those expire. So yeah, I would just ride them. I wouldn't add to them till those key points that I said. And then my stop on them would be a loss. I always give a little extension down. So about like 130's loss on Google. You're probably
Okay.
going to go touch 126 or whatever caused this buying down here at the 120 level. So this would be my stop right here. So actually 131, sorry, because this is basically 132 of this fib here. So 131 would be my stop on Google if I was still in it.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Because you should still be up really nice on those. I mean, we were
Yeah, still up
really,
80 a
yeah,
con.
yeah. So yeah, that's what I thought. So it's not like you're red. So but don't lose all the profits, right? If it keeps pulling back, take some profits and then get back in, you know, at the levels I mentioned, the 134 or 130, 132. So does that make sense? Good question though.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
No problem. Sorry, I just burped. Okay. Target's kind of the same thing as Google. For me, I really like the January contracts, but these last 2 days we made great money here, which was great, and we got out of those I think on Thursday or maybe even Wednesday. I can't remember which day. But now, honestly, so it's filled its gap. It's going to be really interesting if it wants to go fill the earnings gap, which would not be the most bearish thing ever, right? Like from a pure structure standpoint, I can remove this now because we got through it. We gapped through that line, notice. From a structure standpoint, what do I always say? Like, so from here to here, a low or a higher low would be as long as we're above 135. So if we came from a structure standpoint and filled this, it wouldn't be the worst thing. So I'm patiently waiting on target. We get like a mean bounce at the 164. I'm gonna get in, but I have a feeling they're gonna kind of what I call split the gap. And instead of going all the way down, we'll chop here for a while, largely fill it and move up. So I'm looking for 158 to go really, really long on target. Again, like January contracts again. Those are moving really nice on target. So why go away from them with that much time? So that would be my goal on target. So, and I'm not going to rush into this, right? Look at this move targets had. Everyone that's been was in the last group knows I was looking for 100 to 105 on target to start buying shares. This is when they, you know, were doing all the, I don't know what they were doing. They were selling clothes that people didn't like, and so the stock tanked. But like I said last week, white women were never going to quit Target, so there was no reason to give up on it. It went down to 100, which was a big psychological level, and it's bounced. So as long as you have those suburban moms, it's not going to die. So I would not mind a gap fill down here, though. Don't know if this one fills anytime soon, nor does it need to. But with like a gap fill down here, and then a nice move into the guts of this $200 gap, which I think we could catch if we had enough time on the contract. So any questions on Google or Target? Sorry. Speaking of Chuck, this motherfucker just texted me. No questions on Target. No worries. It's about time for you all. Apple simple. We'll see though. This motherfucker's weak, and I can shit on Apple since Chuck's not here and he can listen to it later. I mean, look at this thing, right? Like everything else was making all-time highs. It couldn't go tap its all-time high again. Perfect harmonic down. I remember sending this at the B point, and our Vision Pro master Chuck told me I was crazy. We were going 200 plus, and we're definitely not right now, right? I mean, came down perfectly to this 886 fib. And I'm hoping I bought some shares. I didn't get in any options yet Monday or on Friday, but I'm hoping this is done and we get a nice bounce, right? Normally after an M completes, you get a nice bounce to the upside. And this would be a nice play with my it looks like the bullish MACD cross are about to get as well. And I'd like a move to at least this gap. That's all it did on Friday, which I thought was interesting, that it literally died to a T there. It filled this gap down that it had. And wicked off of that. I mean, you want to talk about sell orders that hadn't filled. I mean, this thing was rocketing all day long and then just fill. I mean, here's a textbook gap fill, came to the penny and filled that gap. So orders were unfilled here. Let me just put the line here so you all know what I'm talking about here. So there was a gap, which here we'll replay it so you can see. So let me just shave this off here. So okay, now let me move over. So as you can see, there was a gap here on the chart. Then Friday came and it filled the gap to the penny, literally to the penny, and sold off. Like, I mean, that's a big move on Apple from 173 to 170. A $3 move on Apple is fucking huge. I mean, this is like your grandmother's favorite stock. The thing doesn't know how to move more than $3 to $4 a day. So like moves like this that rarely if ever happen, right? So but again, nice move down, some consolidation here at this 886, this 169 level, about to get a bullish MACD cross. I'm definitely watching it, and the options are cheap as hell too, even all the way to Jan. So definitely watching, and is on the list. I got one more for us, and then I'll take some requests. Adobe, they have earnings this week. I got a couple others, but not that anybody will probably care about besides me. I'll post them later. And it's really simple for me on Adobe. One, this stock moves like a motherfucker. But a clear, in my opinion, harmonic W. Let me just get the fib here. So let me turn on my magnet mode here. So you got your swing high. Oh, what the fuck? I really should use that more. I never use that feature. There we go. Okay. Swing high, swing low to swing high up here. Okay. So look at where we bottomed. 38%. Right? Harmonic W. I like a move up to 633, but at least to 569. If we can get past the B point, then we'll definitely see 600. So I'm watching Adobe. This thing moves. When it moves, it moves. About to get a bullish MACD cross. It's kind of been rejecting the last couple of days, so I'm just watching, but it has earnings on Thursday. Wouldn't mind the way this thing moves. Again, got your fair value gap up here. Wouldn't be surprised if it moves to 600 before earnings and then shits itself. I don't know anything outside of Adobe Photoshop on why this fucking thing is $600 basically. But to me, I have no clue. I mean, at the height here, this thing reached $700. No fucking clue. I know everybody uses Adobe like Illustrator and Photoshop and stuff, but I'm ignorant to what else Adobe does that has it this popular, this poppin', if you will. So, but I really like the structure here and the harmonic play here. So definitely on watch. Any questions about my watch list? If not, you can send in. I saw you post about RGF and Simple. Could you talk more about? Sure. And I see there's already some requests here. So really quick before I move on, any questions about Adobe? No. Okay. Cool. Yeah, RGF, which is what, so if any of you have ever had Real Good Foods or seen them in Walmart or anything, this would just be like a total small cap play. I can't even believe that this looks like it's on the path of getting delisted, which their earnings have been decent. So it's just interesting that it keeps shitting itself. But their chicken tenders, by the way, are fucking amazing. This would be a total just like fun play. Simple would be one like Celsius that I would buy and want to hold for a while. They own Quest Foods, which if you've ever had Quest chips or Quest bars, they ain't going anywhere. That is, I don't understand how they get the macros on those. Same thing with these chicken tenders, but nobody wants it, I guess. So Simple, they just had not too like back here, really good earnings. They weren't bad. Actually, they were pretty. Let me pull them up. I think they were pretty decent. Yeah, so they surprised missed though. They beat on EPS, missed on Rev. They had really good earnings a quarter before, and they have earnings coming up again in April. So for me, and all this really did was come down and fill this fair value gap, which is interesting, and it's bouncing here. This is going to be a share play for me, Joshua. You asked about Simple. RGF would be a total just like, hey, we're going to buy 1,000 shares and see what happens, right? 1,000 shares at 69 cents. I think every single person in the group could afford to do that. That would be a total just fun play. Simple would be a more like a Celsius type play that I'd be in for the long term because I believe in the brand. Nothing else to say about those two. AMD, okay, let's look at AMD. Yeah, AMD is like NVIDIA, actually an equally nasty candle is what I'll say as NVIDIA on Friday. It looks like it wants to put in an M down here. So like 190s would be great to target. Then a small move back up, and then in my opinion, it'll come back down to 180. But we need to rotate. We need a sector rotation, frankly. Like if you go look at like Tesla way back when it was doing its crazy freaking run up. This right here, this reminds me so much of what NVIDIA and AMD and all them did. And you can see what Tesla did at one point, right? And it's moved back up, but I mean, I don't even, you guys know my opinion. They don't have anything going for them right now, Tesla. But that's what the chips remind me of. Just a freaking, when EVs were popping and they couldn't do any ROM, that's how the chips have been too. But again, I think a short-term move down on NVIDIA, move back up, impulsive move back up, impulsive move down. And then, like I said, I still think 1,000 before the end of the year, and that's where I'm going to sell most of my shares. At least half. I've been in them since sub $100. So it's time to get out. Microsoft, just a lot of consolidation. Looks good. You guys know how I feel about Microsoft right now. Everybody's either doesn't pay attention or they're just fanboying Apple still for no reason. But Microsoft is now, gosh darn it. Microsoft is now the top holding in the S&P, if you didn't know. So as it goes is how you're going to see the market go, the way for a long time Apple did. Nothing bearish about this to me. If we can hold this down here at about 400 and impulsive move back up, off of that. So I'm just waiting on Microsoft right now. Don't need to rush into this. And then Hood, someone said Hood. Sure. I mean, this is very similar to like Coin and the others. I think Robinhood is, I forget, like at least in the top 10 of Bitcoin holders. So right now you're just right at this area where there's a bunch of consolidation and then sell off. So frankly, like Robinhood needs past like $18. And then there's not much holding it back from like the 20s and 30s. So watching, and if y'all want me to play it, you can request it in the chat or in the Discord, because I know it's cheap and I know people like how it moves. So INTC, yeah, I mean, wow. I love looking back, pulling up a chart and being like, wow, I was perfectly right. So perfect harmonic M here, clearly. And what do I always say happens after time? You get a nice bounce, but look at where it's rejecting the 50% fib here, and look what happened. It bounced right down. Needs over 47 or it's going to go to 40. So, but the only time I ever look at INTC is when you guys ask me to chart it. So, I know there's always a subset of our member group that loves Intel for some reason, and I have no idea why, but, yeah, this is, you need past 47, and you'll see 50. If not, it's going to 41. So what else, guys? Anything else today? If not, I'll get you guys back to your Sunday, and I'll probably be pretty distant tomorrow, guys. I'll be driving to the city, and then I'll be doing stuff downtown with my lady before the Mavs game. Go Costco. Boom. So let me remove these really quick. We can now say right here. So from here to here, swing low to swing high. Look at where we stopped on Friday, right around the 38%. Lost it. I bet it sees 713. If it can hold 713, I'll be buying more shares. If it doesn't, it's going to 690. Again, I never play options on Costco. I say it all the time. I always want to and then never do, but I always buy shares. So this is what it looks like on Costco right now. Honestly, is going to happen. It's funny because these, shoot, Jesus Christ. These patterns are all over the market right now. These harmonic M's. And again, if you want to say that this is going to be the bottom, then this will probably be the bottom here. If you think that Friday was the low on Costco, and I predict this plays out, and then a nice move to the upside. Regardless, if you go and you have certain algo, I remember I used to try to play cost and Home Depot, and now I just buy shares. Certain algos will show you things like the amount of or lack of volume on the options chain. Costco's volume is pathetic on the options chain. So is Home Depot. That's why the spreads are absolutely fucking insane. Yeah, Home Depot is a beast. I just buy shares. So snow, I'm gonna remove all these because I'm sure it's confusing everyone. Just a massive fucking gap down here off those earnings. They weren't even bad, but they couldn't say the right things at all. But this thing is so overextended to the downside. But at this point, no reason to not go fill this gap down at the 150. No reason. You've made it here. Go get these buy orders and then move back up. So for me, I like snow. I'm actually looking to buy more shares, but I'm waiting. There's no reason in my opinion this doesn't see 150 now at this point to fill this gap to the downside. Do you think we'll see a drawback on SPY considering the run? So I'll do it really quick. If not, go and watch the class from the beginning. I did a whole long talk on SPY.
Rested and well rested and ready to run. Are you ready to run?
A move down to 450. Carrington, we can hear you talking to I'm assuming you're talking to your dog or your child.
I'm talking to my son, my bad.
Bro, you're good. You're good. A move down to 450 would still be bullish. So let me just show everyone again, and then I'll jet out of here, guys. Carrington being all cute with his kid makes me want to go spend time with my kid. So from here to here, they won't be perfect, but you'll see perfect retracement to the 618. Boom, caught a bit up. So let's say Friday. And again, I go into way more detail on this in the beginning of the class. You don't owe us an apology, Carrington. Nothing wrong with being a loving father. The world needs more of them. Let's say Friday was the local top, then a move all the way down to 450 would still be bullish. So you'll see a bunch of people, if we do start retracing, saying the world's over again, yada, 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 yada. No, let us move down to 450. Frankly, give us a wick down to 442 and fill this gap. And then I'll move up. I don't know if I think that's going to happen, but I just want everybody to realize that a move down is not a bad thing right now. So anyways, always enjoy doing these, everyone. I will see you all later today. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and we'll talk soon. Bye. One last, sorry, crowd. Sure, I'll do. That's literally the last one, guys. My mom just showed up to my house. Crowd. Okay. I don't know. I wouldn't play this. That's all I have to say. Maybe a move down to 308 again to fill this gap right around the 618, but nothing about this chart makes me want to play this stock. So this is hideous for either side. Like, this movement sucks. I mean, you had like a really nice drawdown candle here on what was that, Thursday? And then it looked like continuation, right? Because what do I always say about structure? Like, this is basically a green candle and a really green one. You went all the way down to 314, but you closed at 329. That's fucking bullish. And then it looked like continuation throughout the day. You got basically to 344, and then you dumped all the way to 322. I wouldn't touch this. So wouldn't touch this. There's way better plays out there. But I'd bank on the gap fill down to 308 and then a move up. So, but I wouldn't touch it. I mean, this is like Jank, pathetic W. I don't know. Look who it is. Let's let Chuck in just to give him shit. Jank, pathetic W, and then a move down. Chuck, class is over, you piece of shit. We're literally ending it right now. You fucking slacker. How dare you show up at the end of class? You're like that kid who comes late to class and then doesn't do the homework and is upset the next day when they get in trouble for not doing the homework. Unbelievable. Let's all boo Chuck in the Discord. Boo.
I'm out here being a whole dad, bro. You talking about, bro?
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. But we are done, bro. I'm going to be a dad now. So, but good to see everybody. We'll obviously see plenty of each other this week. Thanks for everybody that came live and on time, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.
Now you got to run it back, bro. Run it back.
No, fuck.